Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be playing a little bit of MLB The Show 24, and we'll be grinding away at the Nations of Baseball Conquest map. And I'll explain a little bit how it works, how I go about it, and do some gameplay with it as well. So here we go, this is the Nation of Baseball Conquest map. So for those who are not familiar with this, it's basically a giant game of Risk with baseball games. So as you can see here, every team has what you call a stronghold. So every team here has a spot on the map that they call theirs, and their goal is to defend it as best they can. We also have our own stronghold right here. As you can see, everybody has a set amount of fans assigned to each stronghold, and our goal is to go all over the map and take over the entire map. As you do this, there's missions or goals that you want to complete. So your first one here is acquire 50 million fans, acquire 100 million fans, and you go through like this, and every single one gives you a reward. So for this one here, you get a show pack. You get show packs for these. A little bit further along, you get a Nike City Connect choice pack. You can get an 85 AJ Pollock, an 85 Mark Melanson, 85 Orlando Cepeda, an 85 Troy Percival, 85 Carlos Rodon, an 85 David Ortiz, 10 show packs, a Conquest winner banner, 87 Bill Mazeroski, an 87 Jim Rice, 89 Stan Musial, 20 show packs, and that's all the rewards you can get. So there's a lot of stuff to get in here. And at the same time, while you're doing these games, you can grind out team affinity. So if we back out here and we go into programs and team affinity, you can see I already started grinding these. So I'm at over 50% for the AL East and the NL East. There's also the AL and NL Central and AL and NL West. So as you can see in these Team Affinity chapters, if you go down to single player missions, you can get hits, home runs, strikeouts with AL East players. And by doing so, it gives you Team Affinity points to then advance in this path. There's also repeatable PXP missions that you can complete here. This also gives you reward towards the path. There's multiplayer as well, but this will not count while you do Conquest. But basically what I did is I built an entire lineup around the AL and NL East that we will then take into the Nations of Baseball Conquest map. So if you go here to manage squad, as you can see here, I built my entire squad with players from the NL and AL East. I have the captains that I already collected because then they help you gain even more experience towards that path. So I have Sean Green here in left, Giancarlo Stanton in right. I have a Chase Utley card for the Phillies. This is not a part of the path, but it helps towards it anyways. I have a Gary Sanchez here, and I also have Wagner. So some of the bosses have specific missions that you can complete. So for Wagner, it gives you 10,000 points towards the NL East every time he pitches 3 innings. So if we can keep him in for an entire game of Conquest, that's automatically 10,000 experience towards the NL East. So that's what we're going to try to do. It's very possible he's going to run out of energy and we might need to pull him, but within 2 games we should have that complete, and the NL East should be completed fairly quickly. So now, going back into the Nations of Baseball Conquest map, I'll just show you a little bit what my plan of attack is, and then we'll go from there, get some gameplay in, and just have a good time trying to complete this map. So the first thing I want to do is right now when you enter the map, you're in attack mode. So what this means is that's when you can start taking up a lot of the tiles around the map. So if I jump in here, the first thing I want to do is completely surround our stronghold, because you don't want the other strongholds to come over and beat your stronghold. If that happens, you've lost and you need to start over. So we don't want this to happen. So the first thing I do is surround the stronghold to add a little bit of protection. And then after that, I try to capture as many empty spots as possible, because the more spots you have, the more fans you get in the next round. So right now I'll just spread out. All right, here we go. So that's the first part. Once you're done attacking, you can either skip the attack phase when you think you're done, or if you run out of fans that you can spread around the map, it will automatically move you to the next phase. The next phase is steal fans. What you can do if you want is, let's say you're close. Right now, we're close to the Colorado Rockies. If we want to make our job easier and remove some of those fans from that stronghold, you see that 7 here in the middle, what you can do is jump into the steal phase, find the Rockies in here. Here they are. And then you can select what difficulty you want to play them on. So if you play a game on Rookie and beat them on Rookie, you'll be able to remove 1,000,000 fans from their stronghold. If you play them on Legend and beat them, you'll be able to remove 5,000,000 fans from their stronghold. Some players really like doing this. I honestly think it's a waste of time when we're trying to do this big of a map. And if you look in the goals, there's no goal where it asks you to steal fans. So what I do is I skip the steal fan phase and I go right to reinforce. So this is the phase I was talking about, that the more tiles you have here, the more reinforcements you're going to get once you get to this point in your turn. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add the 4 reinforcements to this spot right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep collecting those empty tiles and try to get more reinforcements for the next round. So right now we're in the move phase. In the move phase, if you have players left over that you want to move around, you can move 1 set of fans per turn. So right now, for example, if I wanted to take these 5 fans, I click on the square, go all the way up top, click on this one, and then I decide how many fans I want to move to that square. But you can only do this once per turn. You can't do this once per tile that you're allowed to move. It's just once per turn, period. So right now, there's no point for us doing that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip this phase and go back to the attack phase. This is when we can start spreading around the map again. So here we go. I'm going to keep going, trying to collect as many empty spots as possible, because you're guaranteed to take that spot and you're not going to lose any fans by doing that. Next thing we're going to do is move back to the reinforce phase, and again we're going to try to collect some empty spots. Back to the attack phase. And here, there's hidden rewards all over the map. So if you land on a tile that has a hidden reward on it, they'll just give you free rewards, and then you can just keep going. Alright, so as you can see right now, we're starting to spread out. My initial plan of attack when I start these maps is I want to cut off the east from the west. What I'll do is I'll start spreading out in the empty spaces right here. But then once I have enough fans that I can spread out, I'm going to start moving my way down this way and kind of cut off the east from the west of the map and give myself basically a border of protection to stop them from coming over. Once that's done, I'll come up here and try to work my way around and down until I can fill everything right up until my border. So basically I'm going to have the whole west side of the map covered and taken over, giving me a ton of reinforcements, so that when I jump to the other side into this populated area, I'm going to have a lot of fans each turn in the reinforcements that I can then add and continue going forward. If you start with the east, it is possible, but the issue is there's less territories to capture in between each other team's stronghold, which will make it very difficult because you're not going to have as many reinforcements moving forward. All right, so with all that being said and explained, I'm going to fast forward here a little bit, take up some of the map. spread myself out a little bit, and then when we're ready to jump into a game against another stronghold, we'll jump back in, and then I'll explain a little bit how that works, and then we can jump into some gameplay from there.